It seems like everyone and their mother is dropping an online fitness offer. But there's one area that people are overlooking, and it's a massive industry. Online sports coaching is flying under the radar. Now, I'm not talking about Miami dudes flexing, selling general fitness advice. I'm talking about specific sports coaches transitioning to online training and making big dollars from it. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through why online sports training is on the rise and how you can hop on the train before it's too late. You see tons of fitness influencers all over social media with ripped six packs, dipping their faces in sparkling water, but that does not need to be us. You see, fitness influencers all are selling the same information. Eat less, move more, work out, etc., etc. Everyone knows the deal. But the thing about sports coaching is that you are unique to your individual sport and who you can help best. It's way different than what fitness influencers are doing because you have a unique set of skills and knowledge that is applicable to a ton of people. There is a gigantic gap in the market right now. People are looking for solutions on the internet more than ever, and the youth sports market is on pace to hit 30 billion, that's billion with a B. Now, tell me, how many sports coaches out there are gonna run a program big enough that they can capture the entire $30 billion market? The answer is absolutely fucking zero, okay? The market is so big and it is so vast and so untapped that right now is the perfect time to get in, because guess what? There are so few people inside the market that the opportunity is so vast. Athletes have never needed a solution more than they do right now. Information is abundant, and the best athletes are looking for an expert in exactly what they need help with. And so maybe you don't necessarily see the opportunity for yourself, and that's totally normal because your brain is actually wired to think that way. Availability bias tells us that people see things as more true, likely, or important based on how easily they can think of examples. And so because it's so rare for sports coaches to actually have success with online sports coaching right now, of course you're gonna feel like there's not a huge opportunity because you don't have a ton of examples of people who are doing actually exactly that. However, they're actually all around you. Like Evan, who scaled to $17,000 a month in just 30 days, or Trey, who made $5,000 in a single week as a current pro baseball player, or even Courtney, who had a $5,000 week by training athletes from Australia. So you might be wondering how this actually affects you right now. So let's break down the math. Well, right now you're probably charging for an in-person session, let's say $75 to $100 an hour, which is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but the thing about it is you only make money when you spend time. So you're always going to have this exchange where you have to spend time in order to make money. Now, the problem with that is you're always going to be limited how much money you could make because there's only so many hours in the day. And because there are only so many hours in the day, you can only work with so many athletes. So not only are you cutting off your ability to scale your income, you also can only work with a certain amount of athletes. But when you look at coaches like Evan, Courtney, or Trey, they're not getting paid for their time, which might sound like a fucking crazy concept, but the reality of the situation is that these coaches like Evan, Courtney, and Trey, they're getting paid based on their value. And because they're getting paid based on their value, they're able to charge $2,000, $3,000, sometimes even $4,000 plus for an online training program, and they don't even have to be there in person to deliver on that service. Imagine what your life would look like if you could charge way more money and you didn't have to be there to deliver on the service. And the best part is that your athletes are actually going to get better results with this type of model. So if you're watching this right now, you're probably a really good coach and you're well known in your area and you have a really good roster already built up. And the great part about going online is that you got all the hard shit out of the way. Most people, when they're trying to go online, they're not actually good at what they do. They don't have any results and they don't have a steady client base. And so when they go online, they're kind of scrambling and basically making it seem like they're way better than they are. But the benefit for you is that all you have to do is let more people know that you're good at what you do. That is it. That is all you have to do if you want to have success online, is you just need to put yourself out there and show people what you actually can do and who you actually can help, because you are so dialed in on who you want to work with and who you can help best. You're not trying to help everybody lose weight and get a six-pack. You're trying to help a very specific athlete get better at a very specific skill. And so when you promote yourself on social media, you're just tapping into a way larger pool of the people you can help best. Think about it like this. Would you rather fish out of a pond with 100 fish in it that you want to catch, or 1 billion fish in it that you want to catch? If you say 100, you're an idiot. And when you're only focused on in-person training, you are not only missing out on so much upside by going online, but you're also subjecting yourself to all the shitty parts about in-person training. Let's be serious. How does it feel when an athlete calls you at the last minute and goes, hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it, and you're not getting paid for it, and you took time away from your family, and maybe you're missing out on an important event with your child? How does that shit make you feel when you're not even getting paid to spend time away from your family? Not to mention the fact that you're just gonna have to keep running on that hamster wheel over and over and over again, and you have to keep showing up every single day, giving the lessons in order to get paid. What happens if you want to go on a vacation? Tell me then, what happens? You already know the answer. You're not going to make any money. You're not going to get paid, which means the entire time you're on vacation, if you can't even afford it, you got serious fucking anxiety because you're missing out on money that you could make. But the reality of the situation is that all that can be eliminated if you went online. There is a way to be able to break your income from your time through online training. But the thing about it is you have to be willing to take the next step. Now, if you actually want to transition or scale your business online from in person, the most important thing you need to do is make the mindset shift from a coach to an actual business owner. Now, what that actually looks like is seeing what you're doing every single day as an actual source of income and a way to grow and scale for your family, okay? And you don't necessarily need to transition your entire in-person business completely online. There are a couple different options, and they're pretty simple. The first would be a hybrid model where you take your in-person athletes and you add an online supplement. This has helped hundreds of coaches, double, triple, even quadruple their income by strictly changing their business model and adding the online component. Or you can start training athletes outside of your local area by going online and using social media to attract those types of people. But I need to be honest with you, this is not an easy process. It is simple and it does work, and we have proven that it is step by step. However, it is going to take time and dedication and the mindset shift that you are now stepping into being a business owner, not just a coach. Now, there are two types of people that give this a go. The first person goes all in alone and sticks with it for 20 months, then they see success. The other person surrounds themselves with the right mentors and people who have already done what they want to do and see success in just 6 to 12 months. My team and I have helped over 200 coaches achieve results online like Evan and Trey. So click below and see if you align with who we help, and let's change your business for the better. We'll see you in the next one.